Yes, people, yes, people, yes, people. Welcome back to the We Talk Football podcast. I know what you're thinking. Kwaku's not here, but we are joined by the very, very sick Ben Glander. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. I'm starting to think that this is mine and your channel and not you
Yeah.
and Quakle's, to be honest.
Well, you dress better, mate, and you don't come up in dodgy
Oh
clothing.
well, to be fair, I don't wear some kind of branded clothing. Not like I've just gone on holiday in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
bless
mate.
him.
Well, that's enough about Kwaku anyway. I figured we'd do a quick video on the Champions League as they have just come out in the last couple of hours. Kwaku yesterday said his dream tie would be Porto against Chelsea. Amazing draw. That's come through. What do you think about that one? Have you seen the draws?
Yeah, so I've seen the Champions League draws, and there's some very very good games in there. Some very very good games. I think Chelsea, you know, considering this, sort of the position they're in, and that they're going through some transitional phase. There's an opportunity for them to go all the way to the Champions League final.
Oh,
Which
without
is
doubt.
huge for Thomas Tuchel, because obviously they've not just done, the quarterfinal, they've also done a semi-final draw.
Mm.
And obviously, if Chelsea win, which they're expected to win, but it's a completely different game, I think. So, we've seen so far with Tuchel, whilst they've been absolutely brilliant defensively, there's been signs where they do struggle to score goals.
Yeah.
They struggle to break teams down, and they're the team that's expected to be on the front foot against Porto, have all the possession, create chances. And Porto are the ones that are going to be the more counter-attacking team. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of what kind of team Chelsea will put out, because we do know he likes rotational. But if they beat Porto, they play Liverpool or Real Madrid in the Champions League semi-final. So yeah, Chelsea are buzzing, I suppose.
For sure, I think they've got the best tie in the round for sure. Not to say that Porto any small task. They have just knocked Juventus out the last stage, so they won't be an easy tie. There's no easy ties at this stage of the competition. But I'm really intrigued by the Liverpool and Real Madrid game. I think Real Madrid are, they're not at their usual levels this year, but they are putting in dogged performances, especially in the Champions League. Came away with a good result against Atalanta the other day, 3-1. And Liverpool again aren't looking the best in the league, but again they're putting out performances in the Champions League. They brushed aside RB Leipzig quite easily over two legs. So seeing those two teams together, it's going to be a hard one to say who comes out on top, especially with the injuries that Liverpool do have. But it's a feisty tie. Another big tie as well is Man City against Borussia Dortmund. Obviously, for the last 6 months or so, Haaland's been linked with a move to the Premier League with everyone, and all the journos are saying that there's only really two teams in world football that can afford him, and that's PSG and Man City. What better scouting report is he going to get than playing him in the quarterfinals of the Champions League? You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're just going to Liverpool quickly. I think for Liverpool, it could have been a lot worse. Like, if they were going to have any of the big teams, I think they would have taken Real Madrid. Liverpool, whilst Champions League is there, getting into the Champions League, and the Champions League, trying to win it himself is probably their main objective now, because they're obviously not going to win the Premier League. And I think Liverpool, last couple of games, they've been picking up some results, and I think that's a lot with Fabinho going back into midfield. I think Kabak and Phillips have sort of had a very good understanding. And then they've also got Jota back playing in the front three with Mane and Salah. So they do look frightening again. They do look good going forward. And they've picked up some results. And I think a lot of that is just a couple of changes where Fabinho's gone back into midfield. They've got his sort of presence again. And I think it's going to be a good tie. Real Madrid are not the same team they used to be, years ago since Ronaldo's left. They haven't been the same team. They're not top in La Liga. I'm pretty sure it's Atletico Madrid still.
Yeah.
I'm expecting that to be a good game, and it's also a chance for Liverpool to get some revenge on the 2019 Champions League final, because it's the first time they've played since then. I'm sure Salah will want to get one over on Sergio Ramos, so that's going to be pretty interesting. Obviously, Haaland going to Manchester City, I think Man City are going to walk over him. I honestly do.
Yeah.
I watched Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund a week or two ago in Bundesliga, and Borussia Dortmund did score two in the first 10 minutes. But other than that, Bayern Munich were unreal. They were very good, obviously maintaining possession. They ended up winning 4-2 in the end. But Borussia Dortmund, while they have got a very good attack in Royce, and they've got some young players like in Bellingham, obviously Haaland, they've got some good players. Their defence isn't good enough. Their defence isn't good enough, and it sort of reminds me of PSG's defence. Like, they're a little bit too top heavy. in the sense they've got such a good attack, but the defence isn't quite there in order to sustain a real challenge for the Champions League. So I'm expecting Man City to beat them. I'll be very surprised if they don't score 3 or 4 goals over both legs. But you're right, it's going to be interesting with Haaland. So, I'm pretty sure, I want to say it's the first Premier League team he's been coming up against. I want to say
so, yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone unless it.
I can't think of Borussia Dortmund playing the Champions League team when he's been there. So playing a Premier League team. So that'll be a very interesting tie. And then you've got
the big one.
Was it last year's Champions League final? Was it? Yeah, Bayern Munich.
It was.
PSG?
It was.
Bayern Munich PSG.
Arguably arguably the two favourites for the tournament, really, other than Man City. I think they're the 3 front runners. Did a video the other day saying that this is the year that Man City really have to win the Champions League, just due to the quality of the 5 leagues, the 5 major leagues, and now two of the favourites, are going to go out after this round. So this is really the year for Man City to pursue. I think that game there, Bayern Munich versus Paris Saint-Germain, I see it's all dependent on the team that Paris Saint-Germain can get out. It depends if Neymar gets back in time. I know he's doubtful at the moment, but Bayern Munich are, the typical German team, well-oiled, smashing everything they play. Lewandowski looks deadly. They won again the other day. Yeah, who can you see winning that one, Ben?
Fit for Bayern Munich, to be honest, mate.
Yeah,
I just think, just going back to what I said earlier, PSG are good going. They've got some good players. Obviously, they've got Mbappe. Again, another team that, they're struggling in their league. I don't think they're top either. I want to say PSG ain't top in their league. Tuchel got sacked from PSG earlier this season. I think, Pochettino, last time I looked, they lost in the league 2-1 last week. So again, it's a title that PSG are similar. They're in a similar position to Man City.
Yeah,
they're a team that more than likely are going to win their domestic league most seasons, but really they're there because they need the Champions League. PSG want to win the Champions League. Man City want to win the Champions League. But I just think Bayern Munich are too good of an outfit, and it's between Bayern Munich and Man City who are going to win this Champions League. I'll be very surprised if it's not one of the two. You could see a Chelsea. I'm expecting Chelsea to be in the final.
Really?
That's what I'm expecting Chelsea to be in the final. The reason why
is their run.
Because it's their run. Yeah, Porto, and then they've got Liverpool, Real Madrid, and I think Chelsea would have taken that. On that side, they would have taken Liverpool, Real Madrid, and to either get Man City or Bayern Munich in the semi-finals, presuming they'll go through, for me, it's going to be a Bayern Munich, Man City, and I think Chelsea final.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a tough run anyway. So if we just think about the quarterfinal now, we've got the 4 big games. Who are you tipping to win the draws overall? So obviously Chelsea. Yeah,
so Chelsea. I'm going to say Liverpool, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, and Bayern Munich. That's it's not an controversial opinion. I think it's one of the most obvious ones. The only one that you could probably say is Real Madrid over Liverpool. If you ask 90% of other people, the only difference from what I've just said, it would be either, whether they think Real Madrid will win. But I'm going Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Man City, and Chelsea to progress.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And there's a high chance it could be an all-English final, just like a couple of years ago. So it's going to be an interesting one anyway. But just a quick one from us anyway, guys. Ben, where can they find you?
So I've got 2 channels. Ben Talks Football, which is more generic, football content. And just Ben Glander, West Ham, which, as you can see, I support the biggest club in London. Look at this. I support the biggest club in London. Ben Glander, West Ham fan channel for that one.
Yeah, go check out his channel, guys. Always up to date with the most best football news in the game. I've been on a couple of streams with him over the last few weeks. Really enjoyed it. In the meantime, subscribe to all of our social channels, Spotify, Apple Music, Instagram, all that. Cheers. See you next week.